It's time for the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast. Powerful and liberating business strategies you can start in 5 minutes or less. Now, here's your host, Dean Soto.
Hey, this is Dean Soto with FreedomIn5Minutes.com, and we're here again with another Freedom in 5 Minutes episode. Today's topic is this: martial arts can be a pretty systematic business. That and more coming up. All right, cool. So I'm here in beautiful San Diego at my jiu-jitsu tournament, which you've heard about probably for the last few weeks, but we're actually here. I'm not going to tell you the results until after this podcast because I actually already did one match already, and I did get the results, and you will have to hear that in a later podcast. But I'm here with my coach and mentor, the person who gave me the ability to even be here in the first place, Mr. Rudy Carrillo. Hey, Rudy, say hi.
How you guys doing? Excited to be here. It's nice San Diego. Beautiful sunny skies right now. Just finishing up the day with some strong matches.
Awesome. So I wanted to bring Rudy. I usually call him coach or sensei or whatever, but I'm going to call you Rudy now right now. So I wanted to bring him on the podcast because one of the things that really struck me as completely just unique about his particular company, his particular martial arts studios, is that they are extremely systematic, to the point where I was just absolutely in awe. Anyone listening to this knows how much I love systems, and the audience loves systems and so on. And so when I saw what you were doing, and my kids actually are part of his system, just how smoothly things run and how many kids you're able to just go back to back to back to back in your system, it just totally was something that blew me away. And so I wanted to share that with you guys, and how even with a martial arts studio, you can have a system that is just super well oiled, something that brings in more revenue than if there were no system, which I've seen a lot of other martial arts studios just kind of looks like almost like they're winging it, and they're not able to push that many students through with also quality instruction. So all that being said, Mr. Carrillo, what got you into martial arts? Well, first off, tell people a little bit about yourself, your business, and then I'm going to ask you how you got into this in the first place.
So myself, I'm a third-degree black belt in jiu-jitsu. Started teaching when I was 12 years old. I just love the art. I started martial arts when I was 9, maybe going on 10, and my mom put me in martial arts just because I was getting bullied in school. I had low confidence, and I just didn't really believe in myself. So we started a martial arts program, hoping for just a more confident, better outcome, being able to defend myself. And there's nothing like self-defense confidence. So once I got on the mat and I was able to just spar, roll, do all these amazing things, and then really build myself up, it just changed my life forever. So when I was 12, I decided to start helping teach. So red belt, I was helping out with my instructor's classes. Every Saturday I would do it for free. No matter what, I would just be there, just eager to learn. And then by the time I was 15, I got my black belt when I was 14. When I was 15, I was able to teach my own classes. I was able to get my first job. And then I developed myself as an instructor from there on out. It was scary. I mean, you're young. You're telling these people to listen to you, to take you seriously. And then the presence you have to have, just and confidence in order to build people up and to make them become exactly what they want to be. It's just fulfilling, and I was so blessed and eager to help others. And then I just knew that with the right kind of system in place, that I can have a lot of people achieve more results. If you go inside of this martial arts school and you're randomly teaching things, people are not able to fulfill a lot of their goals. But with the right systems and you building them up step by step, day by day, class by class, we saw different kind of results in our students. And over the long run, it helped me build a company.
Oh, I love it. And so you own Ultimate Martial Arts in Fresno, correct?
Right. Fresno Ultimate Martial Arts. We've been open since 2008. We started in a park. I literally opened up this school on a like $300-$400 credit card. It got too hot. Students were about to quit a month in because we were in the sun in Fresno. If you don't know, it gets to 100 degrees, if not more, in the summer. And you're asking a kid to put on a whole pajama outfit, go out there and practice in the heat. And right away, we had a problem. We were blessed to have one of our clients at the time work at a bowling alley. And she said, you come by our facility and maybe you can rent out a room. I didn't have any money. I had nothing. I literally had nothing. And they gave us this opportunity to pay just $50 a month in order to rent on a room and start building our company. And at the time, you have no idea really where to start, but you just have to start. And then as you start, you want to simplify it just for the simplest person coming in to have a positive experience. Because if you're not clear on what you're wanting, then imagine how the person is coming in your facility feels. They're lost as well. And if you're lost, they're lost, and then no one's ever happy.
That's great. $50 a month. I wish I could pay that in rent. That's awesome.
Well, trust me, if I could still pay that, I'd be happy there too.
So like I had mentioned before, one of the things that actually struck me, so I actually came to your martial arts studio because I was in Warrior. I needed my target was to do a tournament for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is what we're doing right now. And I called you up. One thing that actually struck me once I did call you, the way that I ended up calling you was you were using. I could see that you were using ClickFunnels. You were using different types of funnels. I don't think it was just ClickFunnels, but you already had a system for generating leads that was pretty different than most martial arts folks. In fact, we were just looking at different martial arts studios to do some open mat last night, and I literally could not find a website for at least two of them. And so, tell me about that system that you have, and and then how you've how you kind of developed some of the things that you're doing right now from a marketing perspective.
So with the system we have in place, our website, very few people go to a website now and decide to scroll through it. When they go to a website, they want immediate answer. In a few seconds, if there's too many clicks, they're just going to leave. So I knew that there has to be some kind of better system, like a landing page. So if someone searches this on Google, they type in kids martial arts, they need to be directed to a kids martial arts page. And on there, they have to have options on where they want to pursue. You can easily just read our, whatever is on our page and quickly say, this is the direction I want to go into, give you more information. And the information that they're going to give us is just simply a name and number. But the biggest thing I saw from having a website that stirs and directs them into the right direction is that follow-up process. Because once they say, I like what I see, you answered, because there's a lot of questions that can be asked in their head mentally. Mm-hmm. And what it says on that landing page, it has to be short and key and precise. It's going to let them know if they're going to buy or not. And then when they go to that next step, the follow-up process has to be on point, because soon after that, they can be contacting other facilities. They can change their mind. Things change in their life. So you want to get them when it's hot. You want them to ask a question, get more information, and then within a few hours, within 24 hours, we have a follow-up email that automatically goes out to them and just asks them more information. What makes you want to do martial arts? Have you had any experience? What made you decide on our facility? When are you available? Here's the program you asked for. Here's the times you have available. And it's automatic, because most people, at least in our industry, they have common questions. And so we developed an email-based system that automatically responds to them to get those questions answered, and then help us better help them by the time to get into our facility on the mat.
Oh, I love that. That is something that is something that is very rare in this industry, like completely very hard to find that type of really specific marketing, and then utilizing, a good landing page, utilizing email, utilizing pre-framing, things like that, even answering questions ahead of time. So by the time they're even in there, you're not having to hard sell them because it's really just kind of tipping them over to to being an actual client, which is great. And then what struck me as amazing was after I joined, I got to see what you were doing with the kids, and just with, actually not just kids to adults and so on, is you developed kind of a system where almost on the hour, every hour, you have one class go right into the next, into the next, into the next, and the next, and the next, where it's a chain of things. It doesn't feel like you're in a fast food restaurant where you're just being like, cattle pushed through. There's still a lot of personal attention that comes in through it. But how did you develop that system? What were some of the kind of the challenges that even led to that?
So our classes are 40 minutes. What I realized when we had a longer time at one point, 60-minute classes, when I realized that with parents, especially today, they have so many things to do at nighttime. If you get off work at 5, you got to take your child to a martial arts class 6 to 7, and then your child is going to be in bed by 8, you literally have zero time now. So we cut our classes back as much as we could. But our goal is, okay, if we have this much time, 40 minutes, what is our outcome we want? And then in a structured class, how can I get to that outcome? And so every class we have it detailed to every 10 minutes, 10-minute warm-up, 10-minute drill for skill, 10-minute lesson, and that's going to be for the curriculum based. And then the last 10 minutes will be probably game, and then also a life lesson. And it has to be in that manner just because, first off, every class builds on itself. But second, you're systematically putting them through to make them better without them ever knowing that they're getting better. But there's progression, slow but steady progression. That's in anything you do. You might not see the result right away, but definitely it's there, especially if you put the time and effort in over a long period of time. And that just took a little bit of me understanding that the right curriculum, and especially what we call it rotating curriculum, that you're not winging it. You have a set skill you're developing every 6 weeks. For us, it's every 6 weeks. And then every year that same curriculum repeats itself to build upon foundation.
Yeah, that is something that I could see with my son Soren in your class. He went from being completely awkward within the first week to saying, "Hey, Dad, can we practice sprawling? Can we do this? Can we do that?" And I would go for his leg, and boom, he'd sprawl just like boom, like that. And by the end of the few weeks, and it was great because you can tell it wasn't like this hard practice. You need to learn all this right now. It was fun. It was engaging, and it was little by little. And you do that even with the adults, right?
Right. We do it with the adults. We all need to have a game plan. You don't go to college and someone's going to say, okay, we're going to wing it for 4 years, and then we're going to give you a degree. No, you go to a class. There's chapters you have to read, pages you have to write, or really essays you have to write, and then there's, of course, midterms and tests. And you systematically get through that class and have an end result. Whether you like the result is based on your effort during the classes, of course. But, I mean, you don't just show up to what other sport, or really why should any sport ever just not have a precise outcome what they want when people want precise results? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yeah, because so from personal experience, seeing that particular system, every time we start a new curriculum, I'm like, I can't do this. This is so hard. I don't know what I'm doing. And by the end of the month or end of the 6 weeks, I'm like, oh, I got this. This is easy. This is awesome. Like the last one that we did several different arm bars. We did all these different passes and all this stuff. And I was telling Nick when we were rolling, who's another one of his students. I was telling Nick that, man, this sequence we learned so much, and it was amazing, and I didn't even realize I was actually learning at the time.
Right.
So that's just fantastic system you have there.
And that's the aha moments when you're able to have that aha moment, like, oh my gosh, I just like multiplied my game. It's just there's nothing like that in that feeling. That's going to keep you coming back because now you're so engaged to learning even more.
Yeah.
And that's what we love about it.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. So, speaking of aha moments, one of the things we do on this podcast is find that 5-minute change of mindset, that 5-minute decision that you made that really changed the way that you do business, really changed the way that you play the game. And so what's one thing that it was just a quick mindset shift and you said, you know what, I have to do this and figure out a way to do it that really changed the game for you when it came to your martial arts studio?
The biggest change that I had to do, and I'm sure it's for most business owners, is just trusting in your people and letting go. If you did the proper job of training them and getting them in the right mindset of being and doing their job to its full capacity, someone told me one time that if they can do 80% of what you do, you need to let it go, because then you can invest that 80% or even your 100% of your time in another area in your company, which really needs to be monitored. So letting go of the things that I knew that it was hard, that I could let go of, and trusting my team has really helped me develop not only as a business owner, but as a person. Because my gosh, as I get older and as my staff improves, it's important that we build each other and create a dynamic company that wouldn't be able to be done without them.
Oh, I love that. It's so awesome. That's awesome. So how many, so with your staff and so on, what do they do right now? What do you, how does that work with your staffing and with what you've delegated and so on?
So with staffing, we're a team. I don't like anyone being below each other. So as a team, we clean, we clean the mats. We're there. We go over curriculum structures. They provide feedback on what we should be teaching, how we can adjust, and then we also have them assist in teaching classes. So we have multiple instructors at our school, and some are incredibly talented at teaching the younger children. Some are incredibly talented at teaching the adults, and we delegate them to where they're best at. And then they're able to, with our curriculum and what we teach, they're able to follow our system and go with the system and be able to do what I've been doing for so many years.
That's awesome. I love this. Oh, well, I'm in awe of your systems and what you've built. It's something that, like I said, is very, very, very rare to see. And it honestly is, like, for anyone who loves systems and processes, like, you have to check out and see how he does what he does. It's absolutely amazing. So with that being said, how can people see you, reach you? How can people join your classes, things like that?
Oh, of course. We're Fresno Ultimate Martial Arts in Fresno, California. You could always contact our school, 559-261-2805, if you ever have any questions. But also, feel free to email us at ultmartialarts@gmail.com. We're an open book. We love to help anyone. We understand that this is a game we're all playing together, whether it be martial arts industry, produce industry, whatever industry you might be in. There's a lot of similarities where everyone can help.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Coach Rudy. I appreciate you, and we're actually in like 1 or 2 hours, we're going to head back in, and exactly. I have my gi match
to
dominate
do. This last few matches here, we were ready. We're super excited. We had a great morning, and we have a better afternoon right now.
So yeah, it's going to be great. And so after that, we're going to head back home. But until then, this has been another episode of the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast, and we will check you out in the next episode.
Thanks for listening to the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast. Now, head over to www.freedomin5minutes.com and register for our free masterclass and discover how to start systemizing and automating your entire business 5 minutes at a time. We'll see you next time on the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast.